So today we're going to be changing the engine speed sensor on Bucephalus, the 2006 Audi A8 with a 4.2 V8. So I was noticing the car had some issues starting after it had been driven for a while, and ran a code. Here's what it needed. So there's a little sensor there, eyelet, a little 3-prong plug. Let's go over the tools you'll need. You're going to need obviously certain things like a jack stands, your wheels, and then little simple things. You need a hook to pull off your hubcaps if you got them. Long extensions. I've got a few here. You're going to need, I'm not sure how many you're going to need. I know there's a 5mm on the sensor. There's 8mm on a dust shield you're going to take off, and there might be a 6 on there somewhere because I've worked on it before. I like to have a ratchet screwdriver around, some bits, and then a creeper. And if not, some mat you can creep around on. Some extra tools. You're going to need a few metric wrenches, possibly. Impact, if you can find a battery, which I can't. I like to have a magnet around to put my stuff on. Another long extension. And, you know, the standards. Sockets, ratchets, and stuff. So, on the A8, you take a 17mm. So, you're just going to need the one wheel off. You're breaking loose. There you go. Stuff is loosened and jacked up. Stuff out of the way. And next, what you're going to want to do, my car doesn't have them, but there's supposed to be liners in here. And there's going to be little screws, which I can't seem to find any, that they're going to thread into. Mine are all knocked on. I don't know where they went. Someone else worked in this car before I bought it, but there'll be little screws sticking out in random places. They're going to hold your liners in, and you got to remove that. I can't show you how because, okay, so here we go. I mean, little caps sticking out, little screws with little 10mm plastic nuts on them. Just got to pull those off. There are going to be some screws along the bottom. Clearly nothing there because that's broken. On the bottom here, these are going to be like a Torx or something. Remove that. And then what you're going to need to do is go way back in here, and you see this thing right here needs to get removed. There's one right there, there's one up above, and then I believe mine's missing the rest. Yeah, there's one more. It's supposed to be right there. You can't see it because it's obviously, I mean, it's supposed to be right there, but I don't have it. Someone else didn't take it out. And then you can see the little silver pigtail running up to right, let's see, right there behind that dust shield there. And that is what we're trying to get to. That's our speed sensor. So I'm gonna try to get this out. I'll show you all the techniques, the things I figure out, and we'll go from there. Your dust shield screws are going to be 6mm. First one was relatively easy. I've had this thing off before on previous jobs, so that was just started coming right out. I got a really long one because that's all I had, and a wobble extension. You will want a wobble or a universal joint of sorts, and just a standard ratchet. So now that I'm going to pop this off, and I can just thread it off the rest of the way. So I don't think this thing works for it even. No, in fact I remember I had to use an Allen wrench for that. Okay, so I found one that happened to work. I found this one with a ball end on it, and luckily, thank God, that screw was loose. Wasn't too tight. It was just a little tighter than fingertip. And then if it gets an emergency, 7/32 will work, just not if this is super tight. So like now I got loose with the 6 ball end, And so now I'm going to fight with it with the 7/32, which fits in there a little better because it's a shorter wrench. So now it's coming. Pretty easy. So just mental note. You're going to want a 6mm shallow socket. Like not a super long one. There we go. Drop a bit. Push this out of there. And this is fun too because there's an extra cover here. That can get pushed out of the way for now. There's 2 extra covers here. So there's like 3 things you're going to have to fight with and try and get it back together. That's super fun. But so, little mental note. When you're looking for what tools you're going to need, make sure you grab like a 1/4 or a 3/8 drive 6mm Allen socket, about yay long. Don't get a super long one because it might not fit. Yeah. Next we're going to try to get a 5mm on there. Probably get a 5mm socket too, so you don't got to mess with all these stupid long Allen wrenches. So let's see if I can get it freed up. Right there. That's a 5mm screw. There's a 5mm. It's a little shorter. I can work with that a little more. Dang it. It's pretty seized. I'm gonna do something I've heard of many people doing. Get yourself a series of extensions. You know, just something long and a hammer. You're just gonna take and try to go from here or so and try to find that screw, which is, oh right, that shield's in the way again. It's a giant punch. You get in there by that screw and try to set it on that, and you're just gonna tap it a few times, and that'll help just kind of shock the rust in there and stuff, keep it seized loose. So I'm gonna try again, get the Allen wrench on there and see if I can loosen things up. Oh, give it everything. Well, I have plenty of space. Plenty of space to get a longer Allen wrench on there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a long Allen wrench pointing in that direction, and I'm going to reach up from the bottom in this hole right here. See if I can. So right there, you can reach up and grab it and just give it your all. I'm going to grab the long Allen wrench a second. Alright, found it. There's a long one. Give me a little more leverage on there. I got it on there. You can't really see in the dark, but I have a little more leverage to just kind of pop it loose like so. So that's the key. So a long 5mm Allen wrench does work for in there. Just taking those guards off that you're not going to be able to use that for. So now I can take this off and I can, now it's finger loose. Just about. And there you go. A little 5mm screw. Don't lose that sucker. And now the sensor is loose. Oh, and that still wants to be part of the. Get that tucked out of the way again. Ouch. Okay, well, it's being a pain in the butt again. Anyways, but now, there you go. That's out. So the next line of work is going to be to follow it all down and get rid of the zip ties that hold it together. It runs down and then above the transmission oil cooler, I believe that is, and then it runs along the back side of it, and it keeps on going, and then it comes around. for the camera. It comes around here like so, and it plugs in here. So you gotta figure out how to get that unplugged, and it's gotta get fished out of that thing somehow. Looks like it's gonna slide at the top. Maybe. I don't know, that's gonna be fun, but yeah. So cut zip ties, and yeah, so there's one there. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. Another one there. Another one there. Another one there. So there's a bunch of zip ties you're going to have to cut. Have fun. Yeah, so now you basically know the line of work. Just going to wire it down and around. I'm not going to zip tie it that big place. I'm going to twist it around so it just stays. That sheathing is a heat protectant, so that way you can kind of put it on stuff and not worry about temperature issues. You can see here it's mounted to these coolant lines for stuff. Yeah, so this is the transmission. Yep, okay. Just to make sure I was telling you the right things. Oh. Okay, so I got it. Got the old one out now. I got the new one. Slipped in all the places it was. I ended up taking this bracket off it was attached to. It was just held in by two 5mm screws. Right there and right there. So I just slipped those out, make things easier so I could unplug this thing and get it done. So I'm just gonna go back in here. I can tell someone's changed this thing before because this clip I'm fighting with right now is just broken. There we go. Alright. So I've got it seated now. Gosh, dang it, most of the way. Okay, well, that's seated in there pretty dang good, so I'm going to call her a day. I'm going to try to slip this thing back up where it belongs. I'll get my face all dirty. And I'm just going to take and... Ow. I'm going to go too tight, just going to make them snug so they don't fall off, because that would suck. So, there's that. Now that plug's changed, and then you just got to work on routing it to where you want it and get it tied up so it's not be flapping around, because that can cause issues. And then you get it refastened up in there and put everything back together. Yeah. So now that you've gotten it all out and fished back in there and stuff, go some more stuff to things to watch out for. While I was pulling this dust shield off, that screw in the top, it fell in here, and I didn't know it. And I was looking for it for like an hour last night. So make sure you watch where your screws are going. And then when I got it in there, I stuck it, because that one was easy to line up. That one was a pain. So I took in, I can't see him here, but the other hole on the other side, I stuck an Allen wrench in there and just kind of wiggled it around to get the holes lined up on that side, because the Allen wrench was smaller than the screw itself, and that was how I got it to get closer with that one to line up. Also has a little tip there. So now I've got my new wire is routed. It's just not zip tied anything yet because I don't want it hanging and flopping around, but I'm going to get to that now. So, yeah. That pretty much says it all from here. I bet you can figure out the rest putting your stuff, your wheels back on. And FYI, if you don't know, the torque specs for 2006 Audi A8 is 90 foot-pounds, give or take 7.4 foot-pounds. Don't know why so specific, but probably because of conversion tables or whatever. Yeah, I'll let you know how it runs.